Okay, so picture this. You survive a battle that should have killed you. You become basically a medieval millionaire. You fight your way across three empires. You finally take back your kingdom, and then you lose everything because of one arrow. Yikes. It's basically what happened to me last week. I just lost my hardcore Minecraft to one freaking skeleton. Like,
Bruh.
well, anyways, this is Harald Hardrada, the last great Viking, and honestly, the most main epic character energy human being of the 11th century. It's 2015, the day your mom was born. Harald Sigurdsson is born in Norway, into a family that basically treats royalty and warlord as the same job description. Older half-brother Olaf is already out there trying to unite Norway by force, because apparently diplomacy wasn't really a Norwegian family value at that time. Harald grows up by your not average warriors, ships, and constant Loki civil war. Nobody asks if Harald wanted to be a fighter. That was just in the family business, like inheriting your dad's plumbing company, except maybe the pipes are swords. Well, anyways, by age 15, where most of us were failing algebra, Harold's already in the Battle of Stiklestad, fighting alongside with his brother Olaf against forces loyal to King Canute the Great. It went badly. Old brother Olaf died by getting struck by a spear on the chest. Harold gets injured, and instead of Harold's stories ending here, loyal soldiers saw young Harold and help him away off the battlefield before the enemy can finish the job. While most people would hop off from the battlefield after experiencing crazy near-death situations, it was actually the opposite for our baby Harold here. That everything till this point was just the beginning. Since our boy Harold is a pretty chill guy, he and his gang flees to Kievan Rus, where a prince named Yaroslav welcomed him. And so Harold fights in more wars to prove that he's a capable leader. And it's like he's in a game, racking up experience. And then he decided that survival is pretty boring. So Harold, the dopamine chaser, took things up to the next level. Harold heads to the Byzantine Empire and joins the Varangian Guards, which is contrary to what the name sounds like, group of guys standing around in fancy armor. This guards means serious business. These guys fought pirates in the Mediterranean, campaigned in Sicily, crushed rebellions in the Balkans. Harold's out here collecting gold, fame, and reputation, so terrifying that people started calling him Hardrada. In English, it means hard ruler. Eventually, money and power caught up to him. He gets thrown to prison in Constantinople for just being a badass. Somehow, Harold managed to bust out, grab all his fortunes, and sails back to Kievan Rus like nothing happened. At this point, Harold's rich, terrifying, and has a plot armor. Somehow, this chop-looking dude manages to bag a chick named Princess Elisif and decided that he's done with his side quest. He said,
Time to go home. Time to take Norway back.
in 1046, he returns to Norway, does some very intense political maneuvering, and by 1047, he's finally the king of Norway. As king, Harald strengthens royal authority, builds trade, and crushes anyone who challenges him. He rules with a strict iron fist, earning both respect and fear. And yet, the king is still not satisfied. I'll let you guess what Harold wants next. Well, have you thought of your answer? Since Harold is one ambitious man, he wants another crown, specifically England's. In 1066, the English king dies, and Harold took this as an opportunity and decides he should be the king of England. He shows up with something like 300 longships, and I think thousands of Vikings he has, because if you're gonna shoot your shot, might as well shoot it with an entire navy.
LOL!
In any case, at first, it's going great. He wins the Battle of Fulford. Victory is basically in his grasp. A few days later, he marches to the Stamford Bridge, expecting to casually pick up some hostages. Everything's going pretty nice and pretty chill until King Harold, Godwin's son, shows up with his entire army, having sprinted across England at a pace that honestly feels like Avengers Endgame. Harold's men are caught so off guard that a lot of them aren't even wearing armor. They genuinely thought that this was a diplomatic pickup, not a battle. And then this will be the part that sounds fake. But I guarantee you, everyone, that this isn't. Well, legend says one absolute unit of a Viking single-handedly holds the entire bridge, cutting down English soldier after English soldier until someone finally floats underneath the bridge in a barrel and spears him through the wooden planks from below, which is probably the most metal death in medieval history. Bridge finally clears English attack because Harold has never once in his life made the safe choice. His dumbass charges in wearing no armor, butt naked, sword in hand, leading from the front like always. And then it happens. An arrow straight to the throat. The king who survived teenage warfare, Byzantine prison, pirate battles, and about 4 different empires worth of political scheming goes down to one arrow on one bridge in the country he wasn't even supposed to be invading. Well, in the end, they lost. Only a fraction of that massive fleet makes it back to Norway. On September 25th, 1066, Harald Hardrada dies, and a lot of historians point to this exact moment as the end of the Viking Age. Nearly 300 years of raiding, conquering, and absolute chaos, and it ends with the last great Viking bleeding out on a bridge in England over a crown he never even got to wear.